Yo, 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 GM, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. This is your boy Billy Bones, reporting from the Boneyard at the Boneyard Podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are watching Nearcon, and today they will be talking about how Asia is driving Web3 gaming, and then another segment where why you should be building in Web3 games. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to share my screen. We're going to jump right into it as it's going to take up probably the entire podcast. But we're going to go into this. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. Now I can see my screen. I'm going to scroll up. Let's full screen that. See how that looks. There we go. And let me go to the side. Here we are. Awesome. So while we start this up, we're just going to jump right into it. Seuss is not with us today. I think he's busy doing something else, so we will just go ahead and run with it. This is the YouTube. Let's get rid of that QR code as well, so we can see it full screen. Perfect. My name's not blocking anything, is it? Nah, we won't worry about it. So we're just going to jump right into this. We'll let this play, and I think we're ready to go. So let's get that going, and then I will go and share this link with everybody, and let's get settled in.
Okay, I hope everyone's back from their lunch, so please come back. But anyways, hello everyone. My name is Mark Mee. I am a director of business development here at Near Foundation, and I also lead the gaming sector and work closely within the Asia side, just because I live in Asia as well. And so we have a very exciting panel today, and would love for everyone to maybe introduce themselves. And why don't we start with Hannah at the end?
Hi guys, I'm Hannah. I'm the marketing director at MarbleX. So a brief intro on MarbleX. MarbleX is a gaming blockchain service company having its headquarters in Korea's #1 gaming publisher called Netmarble. So we mostly integrate our blockchain services to our own published games, but we're only integrating our blockchains to high quality games, and that's what MarbleX does. Thanks.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jay Hunjai Lee, and I'm the co-founder of the Vortex Gaming. Vortex Gaming is the content-driven gamers community initiated by the company called Inven, which is based in Seoul, Korea. And Inven is the largest gamers
No,
community,
Crypto
like
Penguin, we
Web2
just started
gamers
it up. They're just
community
doing
in
intros, and we're
Korea.
just going to watch Nearcon
And at
for
the
this
same
episode.
time,
As you can
we
see
are
right
the
there,
most influential
how
game
Asia is
media
driving
in
Web3
Korea too.
gaming.
So we've been
They're
operating
just talking about
InVen
themselves, introducing
past
themselves. You
18
didn't miss
years,
nothing. You got here right on
and
time.
the
I'm
know-hows
gonna
and
mute up, and
knowledges
we're gonna
like
watch it. And if I
that we
see
have,
anything that's
we
good,
acquired
we'll
like past 18
I'll
years,
unmute
we
and
want to
talk about it a
plug
little
that
bit. But
into
welcome in, welcome
Web3
in.
space. And
Share the
Vortex
live.
Gaming is all about that. And Vortex Gaming is a new gaming-oriented social media that unifies Web2 and Web3 gaming
Can you hear it?
contents
Fine. It sounds low to
and
me.
gamers all together in a single space.
Lastly, we have Scott from.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Scott. I'm General Manager of Near Korea Hub. We launched last year around this time. It's been a year now since we run regional hubs of Near Korea Hub, and we are very focused on bringing a lot of Web 2 gaming companies, enterprises, to achieve a mass adoption. And I'm glad to have our onboarding partners such as Vortex Gaming and Marplex. So we are closely working with our partners, making sure that they get brand awareness, they get the core marketing, and then they get support what we need. And then especially Korea Hub has a dev team, so we actually do provide tech support to our partners. I think that kind of differentiates from other chains that that's how we onboard and work with our partners. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So yeah, really excited because today I think we have various angles bringing in kind of the view of kind of the Asia market, specifically within gaming, right? We have game developers, we have the game community, and we have someone focused on developing the Asia region, right? So today's topic is how is Asia driving Web3 gaming? So why don't we start with that? Why don't we start with what's the view on the current, gaming market, right, within Asia, and how has development kind of, been driving? So, who wants to? Anyone? Scott, you want to talk a little bit more on just the Asia landscape and maybe kind of some background within how Asia has really been a leader within the, driving
Yeah,
gaming innovation?
yeah. How many people here play games? Mobile games, anything? Console, PC? Yes.
That's
So Korea started around 1990 with the PC games, console games, and then I think around 2010, after iPhone launched, I think mobile gaming really kicked off. And some of the big names, from Korean gaming companies, Nemrable, Nexon, Neowiz, Krafton. So I mean, we do have a lot of many of the RPG games kind of create a hype and free-to-play model. And then Korean gaming companies are unique because they are very open to Web3. So Koreans are usually very fast adopting new technologies and try with the blockchain. And then they actually around 2020, 2021, they started adopting or creating their platform, such as MarvelX. So I think Korean gamings are very bold on Web3. And I truly believe that mass adoption will come from the gaming. So I think we are way ahead of US. Actually, US has a big companies like Blizzard, EA Sports, but I think Korean gaming companies are more keen to try new things, making sure Web3 gamings are alive.
that's very complete. Thank you for that, Scott. Did Hannah or Jay want to talk a little bit about this?
Okay, I want to add in like few more points. Like being in the gaming industry for past 20 years, I have seen the histories, like how it evolved. So evaluating the entire Asian gaming market, like outside of Korea, that's beyond my knowledge. But speaking of the Korean gaming market industry, Koreans, like we made a quite significant the contribution in the history of gaming. And innovation of Korean like gaming, like it can be divided into two different era. In 2000s and 2010s. In 2000s, there was this emergence of the esports in Korea. And StarCraft and StarCraft 2 were the huge part of this. And professional players, like they have gained like celebrity status. And the game matches, like it were televised and drawing even more audiences. And it just became like one of the entertainment contents beloved by the entire country. And in 2000s, there was the emergence of PC online gaming as well. So Korean developers started making world-class games like Lineage, Ragnarok, and Maple Story. And going back to 2010s, with the introduction of iPhone, the mobile game like became very popular. And the concept of free to play was introduced to the market. And while traditional game developers and gamers like didn't really like this change, like Korean developers and gamers like quickly adopted and embraced the mobile gaming market. So major Korean like game studios entered into the mobile gaming market early on and made quite successful games. And in 2010s, like also, the Koreans are one of the pioneers in gacha, which has become a stable monetization mechanism in thousands of games. Now in 2020s, I feel that Korea is once again at the forefront of the Web3 gaming.
Thank you for that. I think you definitely kind of went into more of the next question that I was going to ask as well is, how has Korea led? But maybe taking a step back in terms of overall Asia, I think, you know, gaming has always driven a lot of innovation and has attracted a lot of growing talent to build and develop within Asia. You have the markets within Korea, you have markets within Japan, you have markets within China that has spent a lot of time to develop, to these really strong studios. And other countries within the region also has a very strong retail market and users to play the games. And that's why I think it's such an interesting and very big scope within a lot of the funds, the gaming funds that are looking to develop and invest in it, right? And so, Hannah, did you have anything else to add in terms of maybe either the Asia market or even just specifically the Korea market?
I'll be a bit more general, as these two have highlighted only Korea. I'll be a bit more general on the whole of Asia. So Japan started a new trend in console gaming with huge companies like Nintendo, Sega, and Sony. Also brought a new trend to arcade gaming in the 70s and 80s, bringing big mega hit games like Pac-Man and Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. Korea has been made gaming an actual sport by bringing the birth of esports gaming, free-to-play games, unlike Western countries, a new trend to mobile gaming. That's what we do in Marble X and Netmarble, and such other things like that. But I think Asia's growth, it's not ending just here. It's only starting now. So I think everyone should keep looking forward to the APAC region's gaming industry and look forward to that.
So that's a great segue, right? We always say, is it too late? Obviously, I think what Hannah is saying, it's still early within gaming, at least Web3 gaming, and that's something that I actually truly do believe. We have so many good titles developing, and we haven't really seen one that's a sustainable model to grow and develop yet. So I think, this is Nearcon. We're here to talk about blockchain and crypto and how that relates. And so maybe let's segue from gaming's general market to actually the Web3 side, right? And maybe Scott could start. What do you think in terms of where we are at in terms of the Web3 gaming and kind of how does Asia or Korea specifically kind of accelerate that?
Yeah, I think it's very early. I talked to a lot of the CEOs from major gaming companies, and they even though they have a lot of users, conversion rate are usually from 10 to 20%. So the most problem is that general users or players of the Web2 gamings, they have such a barriers to enter into Web3 market because of login experience, creating a wallet or transferring their digital assets, working with the NFTs. So these are big hurdles, even they're experiencing it, as they create Web3 gaming. So I think that's where Near kind of comes in. We help them with the fast auth and some of the easy onboarding experiences. And we always tell them, look, it's very Near is a high throughput, low cost, and it's one of the best platforms to launch your game. So I think it's been kind of proven to Korean market. And I think we are pushing more gaming companies, with the Vortex Gaming. Now we have a big community. Now we have a good IPs. So I think slowly, I think we are adopting into Web3 gaming.
So I love this. Clearly, Scott has done a lot of business development for Near in Korea since he kind of has a lot of good selling points on the pros here. So maybe Hannah, can you talk a little bit more on why do you think Korea has been able to accelerate more of the Web3 gaming versus other markets, and obviously speak from within either the company, your company, or even just within the industry itself.
In Korea, gaming is taken a lot more seriously compared to other regions over the world. Like for instance, I'm not sure you guys know what a PC bang means. It's a facility that Koreans have. It's a room. It's basically an internet cafe, but it's all over the place, more focused on gaming. It's normal for like a teenage boy to go spend time in these PC bangs like for about like 8 hours a day, not even talking to their girlfriend, and that's one of the reasons they always get into a fight because they play too much games. It's normal for teenage boys to wanting to take gaming as a real career. and the governments support that in Korea. And that's why I think Korea has been accelerating in gaming and also Web3 gaming.
So I think you hit on a point right there, which is culture, right? I think culture historically it seems like the Korean entrepreneurs have been very willing in terms of to innovate, very willing to take risk and try new things to see if they can make it. And you can see this with kind of what Jay said earlier in terms of new business models with the free to play, more and historically kind of what that's done, right? And so I find that to be very, very interesting. And maybe next we can step into more of like maybe the Korea gaming community, right? And how that relates to I guess the developers in terms of building the games, right? Maybe Jay, maybe you want to talk a little bit more about the gaming
Yes.
community.
So definitely, like Web3 gaming, like it has gained like interest and attention, but compared to other sectors of the gaming industry, like it is not as established. But given that, like Web3 gaming community is, I mean, it's emerging and evolving in Korea, but it's just not there yet. Like, but uh, the and the dominant Web3 gaming community is currently absent. And just like any other countries, like in Korean Web3 gaming the community is fragmented and scattered on Discord, Twitter, like Telegrams. So that's where we want to kick in. I mean, Vortex Gaming, like we want to kick into that area, and we want to make a breakthrough.
What's up, Max?
I think it's
Good
very,
morning.
very interesting kind of
We're
what
watching the Nearcon.
Vortex kind of is trying to achieve here.
How
I
is
mean, they're
Asia
basically
pushing Web3
coming
gaming?
in, you know, we have a few projects,
questions,
for
feel
example,
free
you
to
know, the
ask.
top projects on near our building, kind of these Web 2.5, right? Basically, already have a platform with millions of users and onboarding them to Web3, and in a way that's you know what Vortex is doing, right? They're utilizing the parent company, Invent, and seemingly kind of providing a new experience, new model, and really onboarding them to be able to provide, I guess, more value and engagement to their users. So, um, yeah, Scott, did you have anything to add within the kind of Web3 gaming community and within Asia or just Korea?
Yeah, I think Jay explained it very well that it's kind of shame that we're still using Discord as a community platform. And I mean, Jay has experienced that Invent is one of the biggest gaming community in Korea and media. They're actually their MAU is great. DAU, if you look at Invent's, the metrics, it's amazing. So I mean, they're trying to figure out, how they can gather all these scattered and siloed communities into one, so the players or users can kind of, make a social, and then they can actually communicate within the one platform. I think that's the beauty of Vortex Gaming. And just to elaborate more, I think the Web3 gaming community should be the pillar and the core of our gaming, because it's the whole point about this, blockchain is to communicate in a transparency manner. So I think Vortex Gaming probably next year, I'm very bold that they're gonna take the whole Web3 gaming community in Korea.
Awesome. So, talking about Web3 gaming community, I think it's only fair to actually talk about how does that really work, right? A lot of questions we always get is, or ask as well, is why does it need to be on the blockchain, right? Like what does it really add value? Is it something that that we need, right? And obviously, I would say I definitely put a lot of thought into this personally on how we can create value, why it's valuable. But I think especially these builders as well as Scott, definitely I guess question: why do you think how does blockchain fit, and then why why would you utilize it and things like that? Hannah, can you?
Yeah, I think it's about the ownership and sharing the profits or revenue shares with the users. I think I used to play Lineage by NCSoft, and I think Korea loves playing RPG, but it's not, you are not really owning your items. It's companies. It belongs to companies, and you actually can trade this, buy and sell these gaming items through black market with gray market. But it's all about the transparency where gaming companies actually can take some revenues by charging them commissions, and they can actually bring that gray area into more brighter area, and then you're actually telling your users that, look, its items is yours and it's in your wallet. I think it's all about giving back to users and then being transparent with users. So I think that's the whole point why they should definitely adopt blockchain.
Okay. Hannah, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think gaming is the next tipping point for blockchain mass adoption, just by sharing some of our KPIs. But before I go into that, why don't you guys search up some of our games onto your app stores, and then after you played it sometimes today, why don't you come find me and we can talk about this? So go to your app stores. Let's search in Meta World My City, which is one of our most recent games, or you could do Nino Kuni Crossworlds, Ninokuni, and then we could talk again. Well, I'll go through the KPIs. Nino Kuni Crossworlds, it's a large MMORPG based on Studio Ghibli. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that studio from Japan. Studio Ghibli and Level 5's IP. So we have achieved a lot of KPIs just by integrating blockchain, because we had achieved #1 position in Google sales in Japan, Korea, and Taiwan. After blockchain integration, we achieved top 10 in Google sales in North America, which is huge for a APAC company like us. A3 still alive. It's a MMORPG based on battle royale PvP content. After integrating blockchain, we actually increased users about 620%. And lastly, for Meta World My City, which is our most recent product, it's a Monopoly-based board game, metaverse game, which is really fun to play. It's one of my favorite. We achieved top Google sales in Taiwan, Korea, Thailand, Indonesia, most of APAC with blockchain integration. So just by looking at our marvelous KPIs, you can see how blockchain and gaming are so compatible.
No, thank you for those actual case study examples. I wasn't actually sure that you're going to share that. I was going to go more with the theoretical. So, Jay, did you have anything else to add on that?
Yes, I'm gonna share my opinion from the community's perspectives.
Perfect.
I mean, obviously, I'm in the Web3 business, so I think the blockchain is a perfect technology for, especially for games. And my personal conviction goes even beyond that. I believe soon gamers will not differentiate from Web2 games and Web3 games, and refer to them just as games. That is my conviction. And the problem right now in the market is that traditional gamers, like Web2 gamers, they rather treat blockchain games as an investment
Also,
vehicle,
guys, just so you know, we are
not
also
as
live
a
on TikTok. So if you
the
can hop over to
genuine
TikTok and
means of enjoyment.
stop in and say hi and
That
give
is
a
the
share,
problem that
some
we
likes,
see
it would
from
be
the
most
community
appreciated.
angle.
I think we could
But I think
probably
this
do a
is
giveaway
natural.
for people who are going to
Looking back to
TikTok,
the past,
liking and
in
sharing the
2000s,
live,
when
and the
PC
top
online
viewer
was
will
booming,
be given
and
a,
2010s,
I don't know,
mobile
a
game
choice
was
of some
booming.
NFTs or maybe,
There's
you know,
always
even some near.
individuals
So
with a
jump over to the
negative
TikTok.
view
We just got
on
live access,
new
so I'm super
developments.
excited. So
So I think this
hop
is
on over there
perfectly
and give us
natural.
some likes,
And
give us a comment, say
here
hi,
we
good
are in
morning, and give us a share.
2023.
We're most
Hardly
appreciated.
anyone has negative perception on games, right? Especially mobile games, it just became the integral part of our everyday life. So I think blockchain game, like Web3 gaming, is going through the exactly same process now. And a substantial number of gamers right now has a negative perception on, I mean, the who haven't even tried Web3 games, but they do have negative outlook on Web3 games. So improving such negative perception is a key, and it's the mission of the Vortex Gaming. At Vortex Gaming at a higher level, what we are trying to achieve is we want to break down these psychological barriers, like the gamers trying like Web3 games. I think the we like from our past experiences, like on the building successfully building the Web2 gaming community in Korea, we believe the key to building like organic and sustainable gaming community, like it lies in contents. And so at Vortex Gaming, like we're gonna be unifying Web 2 and Web 3 gaming contents and gamers all together in a single space. And we're gonna be continuously exposing users to the Web 3 game contents. And we're gonna be facilitating like communication between Web 2 and Web 3 users. And we believe that will be instrumental like to achieve our goal.
Okay. No, thank you for that. I think you hit on so many great points that, in this past year of looking within the gaming market and industry and following Web3 that you hit on, right? I think, I would say at last Nearcon, everyone was still talking, a huge gap between Web2 gaming and Web3 gaming. And now it's not really about that. It's just generally about gaming, right? The market is so competitive. What are you trying to do? You're actually trying to create a game. Game developers are trying to create a game that people will play, right? And from there, then it's more of the features, the gameplay, how things are gamified and how blockchain fits into that. And I think it's pretty exciting that Jay hit on a lot of points, right? One is the negative, either connotation or the view of blockchain and how it's used. But, if we do it tastefully, if it makes sense, then I think there's really a strong opportunity to really have that first sustainable game that everyone plays because they like the IP, because they like the content. They onboard easily and they play it, and then they realize, oh man, you're already in Web3, right? You're utilizing the chain, and most of the people don't know it. So I do expect and hope to see something like that in the near future. Maybe the last part, since this is Nearcon, would love to for the projects themselves, maybe to speak about kind of their experiences in terms of of Near, right? Near protocol, Near foundation, the Near ecosystem. I mean, I know in terms of your guys' product development, you guys are haven't really launched yet, but maybe you could speak to a little background on just your experiences and understanding of the tech or the ecosystem and things like that. Maybe we'll have Hannah. I want to start off with that.
It's been such a pleasure to work with the Near team. First of all, Near is one of the uh, one of those Web3 companies that has a real mission, not only integrating blockchain to a lot of projects, they're really about linking real life and blockchain, which is one of MarvelX's KPI and roadmap. So that's why we're great partners. But in addition, among other Web3 projects, now Near Korea Hub has been amazing team to work with because they have a real interest in the APAC market and the Asian market. They're very serious about linking the Western and the Eastern world in blockchain. And it's been such a pleasure to just work with Scott and Mark. And I see a few Korean Hub members here, and it's been such a pleasure.
I second that.
Got it. Then Scott, did you want to maybe talk about more on, we have a lot of builders here at Nearcon, and maybe how Asian market can maybe work with them and kind of what the opportunities be. If you guys joined a little bit later, Scott leads our Korea hub. Obviously, gaming is not their only mandate and only focus, but that is something that they worked heavily on just mainly due to the Korean market. So Scott, now that we have a little bit more people here, I would love for you to maybe talk a little bit more about maybe what the opportunities might be for you to kind of support and work with that.
Yeah, Korea is good at creating contents, IPs. If you look at Netflix, we have a lot of Korean drama series, movies, and we have a great builders. I think why Korea gaming is so strong, not only in Asian market but globally, is that we have such strong builders. And on top of that, I think Near provides such a good, strong technical features such as fast talks, meta transactions, and function call keys. Utilizing these, technical features, I think Korea should be really driving this Web3 gaming in the global market. I'm glad that Japanese is opening up their market and that they have a lot of content and IP. Historically, they've been very known for the good gamings, and so when we match with their content and our builders and good companies like Netmarble, Vortex Gaming, I think we can certainly create a lead and take the lead in Web3 gaming market. So please come to the Vortex Gaming booth. They have a booth, and then we're gonna be around the booth area, and then we would like to talk more about Korean gaming landscape, how we can help you guys to sort of make an introduction to Korean market.
Perfect. Okay. I think our time's about up, and why don't we do some last takeaways, or if there's any last points you guys wanted to bring up. Hannah, did you have anything else to add for?
Just as I mentioned, please look up our games. Talk to me if you're interested because it's no other like other games. It's more of like a Web 2 game. If you play it, it's fast. You wouldn't see all the blockchain aspects in the front and the UI UX part. It's more in the background. So it's just like a real good quality game. So please come after you tried it.
Yeah, so I think I would add additionally to kind of more of the retail, the gamers, but also if you're a game studio, definitely should talk to Hannah as well, for a bit more understanding of the Korean market or kind of the opportunities with them as well, right? Jay, did you have any last words to?
Yeah, just come talk to us, like at the ecosystem booth. We'll be there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for everyone's time. I want to thank our panelists kind of for coming up, taking out, talking, and sharing a little bit more about Asia. And thank you guys for sitting over here and welcome. Hopefully you guys had a big lunch and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the first day of Nearcon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it seemed that went by pretty quick. What'd you guys think? What was your takeaways from that? I like that they're trying to make Web3 less, to make it frictionless for people to come and play games and not know that blockchain is involved very, daunting to people that want to try it out or are curious. So, you did not, you missed the first part. Fundamental is asking if you missed it. So you missed the part.
Oh wow, it's filled up in here. How's everybody feeling right now?
Let me stop this. Hold on.
Midday lull? I'm not hearing it. Let's try
There
again.
is a second
How
part
is
to it.
everybody feeling right now?
So we want to watch. You just missed the first part, which is like the larger segment of it. It's about a half hour. This next part. So where did we watch? We watched this part right here. How Asia is driving the Web3 gaming. So MarbleX is something to look at. And Vortex Protocol. So they're working closely with Near to bring gaming to Near, and a big part of Korea, Near Korea. And then the moderator, the main speaker, Mark Mee, is the head of gaming and BD on Near. So you guys pay attention to all those players right here. Hannah Kang, Jaehoon Jay Lee. Did I say both their names? Scott Lee? No, that was one guy. I've never heard of that guy, but I've heard of Vortex Protocol. So Near is going to be making big moves, especially with the Asian market. And then we want to go to, so you did miss that, but don't worry. We're going to go to, where is it at? Here we are. We're going to watch this one, and it looks like it's about a half hour as well. So you only missed the first half. So it's called Time to Rage Quit Web 2, Why You Should Build Web 3 Games, with Julian Sherrill from Star Chain Gazer, which is Time Breachers. If you guys remember, I became the community manager for that team. It's been quiet since the first month I was there, so I'm not sure what they're going to do. So I'm interested in seeing what Star Chain Gazer says. And then we have Hugo from Play Ember speaking. And I don't know who Tung Nguyen is and Vitsa is, so I'll be learning about that. And it's also as well as moderated by Mark Mee from the Near Foundation. So let's get into that.
You're at the end.
And then after this, we can announce the winners. What's up, Go Kill? we can announce the winners for the AR art contest. So as
Hello,
soon as this is up,
everyone. My name is Mark Me,
there it is. There's
and
Hugo.
I'm a part of the
You guys
BD
know who
team
Playember
here,
is,
a
right?
director at the BD team, lead kind of gaming. I was here on
But
earlier talking
I'm gonna
about
mute
more
up
of
and we'll
Korea,
watch
Asia
this. If you
gaming
have
as
any
well,
questions,
and
feel
now
free to
today we'll talk more about
comment in
other
the
game developers, opportunities here within the Near
chat, and
ecosystem.
I'll answer
Now, the
best I could.
topic
Here we
is
go.
time to
rage
rage
quit
quit
Web 2. Why you
Web
should be
2.
building Web 3
Why
games.
you should
Let's
build a
go.
Web 3 game. And why don't we let our great talented guys over here introduce themselves? Why don't we start at the end with Julian?
Yeah, thank you, Mark, and thank you everyone for being here. I'm Julian. I've been in the crypto space for almost 7 years now, building different companies,
I want
and
to see what this
right
guy
now I'm
has to
producer
say.
and CTO of Starch and Gazer, and our flagship game is Time Breachers, which is available today in the App Store, so you can try it out. It's a 4X MMORPG that the lore is like the space and time has been crushed together, and you can explore space time and build your characters that you can build with artifacts that can be NFTs. So this is where the blockchain comes in, and you can evolve your NFTs. They have a life cycle. They can become something that's really part of you and that you can own. So this is it for me. Thank you, Mark.
Awesome. Yeah, so Starchain Gazer, and we definitely learn more about that project later. Next up, Hugo from Playember.
Cool. Hi everyone, I'm Hugo from Playember. So we're a fully Web 2 mobile game studio, and that's what we've done for years and years. But about a couple of years ago, year and a half ago, we wanted to make the switch to Web 3. And currently we're building a Web 3 SDK. Think of it like a loyalty rewards platform, which means Web 2 users kind of get rewarded for their gameplay. So for so long, people have kind of watched ads and been monetized, but never got anything back for it. Now our SDK effectively gives back to the users so they can buy stuff like NFTs or gift cards.
All right, thank you for that. Last, we have Tung from Vista Digital, and I'll let him talk a little bit more about himself as well, kind of the background of the project.
Yes, I'm Tong, and I've been in the games industry for more than 15 years. In fact, I was one of the very early, let's say, evangelists for free-to-play in Europe. And this reminds me currently also, when looking at Web3, that it feels very similar to 15 years ago. And what we are working on is a fashion game. So it's a next-gen fashion game that has, let's say, original roots in Web 2, but has also a Web 3 component for loyalty, but also mechanism in order to give ownership back to the users. And yeah, I'm very excited to be here on the panel.
Awesome. So I think, here we have various genres of games as well as different stages and where they've built. Some already having a Web 2 platform that's live. And I think it's at its core to the topic of blockchain. Why don't we start? What's your guys' view in terms of why blockchain, right? And what's the reasons for kind of how blockchain would fit within the game mechanics? Why don't we start with Julian since he's kind of the furthest over here?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Mark. As you may all know, I mean, like the Web 1 has been the web for the read. Web 2 is read and write, and for me,
Yo,
Web
G
3
Dub.
is really the web of
Thanks for the heart.
ownership and
Appreciate you, bro.
community creation. This is where we
If
need
you guys
to go
have
in terms
anything
of gamers.
modding wise, you could probably
where
hit him
you
up
want to
and
be part of the
get you
creation of your
some
game. You don't want the studio
retro
to
games.
be fully responsible for making the game. You want to take part in creating the game. So, for example, if you think about the emotes that the YouTubers have been like propagating inside of Fortnite, for example, you want to be part of that, and you want to be recognized as some content creator inside of that game. And I think that blockchain for that is like literally the way to go, to write down those ownerships, And with that ownership, you can really see and convince others that this is who you are, your identity, and that you're providing the world with something that will be included in the game. So I do think that for that part, it's going to be something very different than we have today. And decentralizing the production and of the content of the game is something that we don't really know yet today, and that will be very different.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think the use cases of blockchain are very clear, and we just haven't seen it fully drawn out yet. And I think
this question is going to get harder and harder because, if we're going to say one thing, someone else can't say the same thing. So I'm going to let Tom kind of speak next, and then maybe Hugh can follow up after because obviously he kind of more has a live product.
Yeah. So our game is about fashion, and if as a player you want to, on the one side, create fashion, purchase fashion, or you have partnerships with fashion brands, you want to make sure that all the things that you buy, that you create, is something that you own, but you don't own it only within the game, but also can you bring it outside, give ownership back to the users, make it, for example, exchangeable, tradable, also outside of game maybe in the future, even bring it to other games. So that's the idea of it. And also, for example, if you have a collaboration with brands like Gucci, Dolce Gabbana, etc., they want to make sure that it's being spread around. And so that's the reason why we have the blockchain component as a complementary element. And that's the reason why Web3 for us makes sense, but also that's the reason also why for us it makes sense to use Near.
Perfect. Hugo?
Yeah, ours kind of came from a Web 2 problem. So in mobile gaming at the moment, there's a real problem with eCPMs. So that's effectively the amount of money we get per 1,000 ad impressions. And that's gone down a lot. I think it's just the general market. So we were looking for some way to, I suppose, better retain players. And Web3 was perfect for that. So blockchain allows us to give out these loyalty coins. People effectively stick around for longer. They feel like part of the community more. They feel, that they're kind of loved by us because we're giving stuff back to them. So that was really key for us.
Okay, so I think that's a perfect segue to my next question, right? And basically what Hugo touched upon was more of the maybe gamification or incentives so that you guys can understand engage the users more, right? And bring more activity, bring more masses, increase the value of these users. So I guess going back to you, why not just create a Web 2 game, right? I think you kind of partially answered that in the beginning, but we'd love to follow the other guys to answer that as well. But if you want to make that a little bit more clear of why not just make this Web 2.
Yeah, sorry. So I think with Web 2, effectively our games are Web 2. So the loop kind of doesn't change. So you would have this a very similar experience. So if you go onto one of our games, you effectively can play the Web 2 version, or you can choose the Web 3 version, and that's the one where you get rewarded. So I think it's, for us anyway, it's not really about changing the gameplay experience. It's more, or how do we make it better? Okay, yes. It's certainly like a sprinkling of Web 3 for us rather than a fully on-chain game.
Exactly. Okay, love that. So, Tung, I think you were going to jump out and say something else.
No, I cannot say something else. I can only confirm what Hugo said. So we are, in essence, we are also building a Web 2 game. But I think in these times you can do both. You can have a free-to-play Web 2 game, but have complementary as a, let's say, icing on the cake as an add-on. You can have also Web 3 elements, but make the use of, let's say, the best what Web 3 can offer and to combine it. And I think in these times where we still see early days in Web 3, I think it's a good way. So we could also consider ourselves Web 2.5, more or less, like bridging from Web 2 to Web 3. And I think that's also the stage or the phase in which we are and where it makes sense to, let's say, not work onto something where you do not have, let's say, a use case or a business case, but something which is tangible, something which makes sense, and also something which brings, let's say, a use for the user. So that's the reason why we are having a Web 2 game, but with Web 3 components on top of it.
Okay, yeah, so I think you bring up a great point. So, I think Web 2 is thrown out a lot, Web 3 is thrown out a lot, and then you have this Web 2.5, right? And how do you actually define that? What does that mean? And obviously, who you ask will be different in how they describe it, but I would say for me, just, for those in the crowd, Web 2.5 is maybe the similar experience to how you use, right? You're to play the game, and your overall experience is just not like too much that's different, right? And I think that's what these guys have learned and are trying to build as well. So, Julian?
Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, on the why build a Web3 game, I'm going to go back to that ownership economy that if you guys know Yatsu and economy talks. I mean, like if you compare with owning a car versus renting a car, the economy that's around the car itself, it's much bigger than the economy of the car, of selling the car itself. So when you own something, it becomes something that you can use, especially in our capitalist market. You can rent it out. So for an NFT, for example, you can rent it out to someone else. You can stake it. You can use it in different other worlds. Whereas when you just use something that's been lent by a company, for example, you don't have access to all that. Now, on the Web 2 and 2.5, that's a very good point as well, because onboarding users on Web 3 has always been like a pretty hard struggle, and like 99% of the gamers in the world today don't know anything about Web3 or actually don't want to hear anything about Web3. So the challenge, this is what we are doing at our company, is like really trying to build a game first from Web2 and introduce some NFT concept or Web3 concepts to those who want to hear of it. So this is a little bit like what you were saying, Mark, about Web 2.5, is where you give the choice to the user to have a full experience that's Web 2, Web 2-ish, or Web 3 in the case they actually want to make it Web 3, And for those who are building stuff inside a game, who are spending hours of their time to do something with the game, to bring up their artifact, build stuff inside the game, depending on what the game is, they want to be able to take it with them, and to show to the world that I've done that, this is mine, and it's not going to disappear at any moment.
Yeah, it's a really good point, because I think they need to value the in-game stuff, right, before they'll trade or do anything with it. So yeah, have to make a really good game first, and then
exactly, yeah, that's the point. I mean, like, and you want the game to work before you actually talk or introduce any blockchain concepts into it, which I believe is like where you should start with if you really want to build something that's working.
Okay, so I completely love what you guys have just said, and I'm gonna change it a little bit to say, okay, now that we kind of know, why we're building these games, what interests us, and what the goal of the tech to be utilized, what stage do you think we are within Web3 gaming? Because obviously, in the last year and a half, everyone has been talking about these games. It's going to change the world and things like that. So, where do you guys think we are with Web3 gaming? You can say within the market, or you can talk about yourselves and your own project. But would love to understand and hear that.
I think like completely market-wide, I think it's going to be really, really exciting. Like the next year, kind of got those big games, Shrapnel, those kind of huge AAA titles coming out. So I think that will be really exciting. I worry a little bit that there's so much riding on these big ones, but I think it will come, and I think soon people won't have to say they're a Web 2 studio or they're a Web 3 studio, or gaming will just be kind of inherently Web 3 on the back end.
Okay. Tung or Julian? Any thoughts?
Go ahead if you want. I can take it for a little bit. Like for me, and it's been like since I've started in the blockchain world, and I've mostly built like B2C applications, and like we've been needing like tooling forever, and I think it's still true for onboarding gamers onto Web3 or Web3 infused applications. We still need to be able to abstract those layers. Because even for Web3 users, I mean, you don't really want to know what's going on behind the scenes, And this is even way more true for Web2 users. If you're focusing on like having any gamer being able to use your game, you can't really talk to them about like a wallet, how to store your key, how to do a transaction, and even more how you have to spend money to actually do in-game transactions. So all that needs to be abstracted somehow, and I think we still need those tools, I mean, like this is not there yet, and and like we have a bunch of stuff that are coming up, and for example, ourselves we're building that proxy manager. That would be something where you don't have to actually propagate anything on the blockchain, but you can batch the transactions and trust that central server to be like the reflection of like what's the state. And the good thing for us is that you can actually reduce the cost of transactions because you do less transactions, and also in case of our game, because we have like PvP inside of our game, so it's very fast-paced, and when you need to update uh, the NFTs or anything inside the game, it has to be instant, you know. So even if you're near and you have like almost instant transactions, you need like even faster stuff, you know. So this proxy that would be in between the game and the blockchain is something that's critical for us, and we believe that this is one of the key part that can provide something for games and other applications in between the blockchain and users who don't want to hear about the blockchain. So it's something that we want to
So
use.
two things that jump out to me, kind of like, obviously your first point is mainly about the understanding or the tooling or the education of what how to build these. But more importantly, I can see the education piece being very important for the users too, right? And it's not just the same experience, but they need to understand how things work, right? And I'm sure when free to play came out first, no one really understood it, right? They're probably frustrated that they're watching all these ads and don't know why. And this is like the education piece. So like in terms of the question of what does it look like of where we are, I guess it sounds like we're still in the early stages of really educating. So do you want to add on this?
Yeah. So I think I want to add to the earlier point. I think you have to, if you develop a game, you have to think product first, but out of the perspective of a user, of a player, what he or she wants to play. And I would like to see it more, let's say, technology agnostic, because it's not about, really, do you differentiate between Web 2 and Web 3, if you do it analytically. I think from the user perspective, it shouldn't feel like, it's like a technology piece that is an add-on. It should feel seamless and native, when he or she plays the game. That's the reason I think why it's so important also to overcome the technology hurdles when more or less using the blockchain, so to say. From an analytical perspective or from a market perspective, I think it feels like still early days. If you compare, for example, the number of active wallets, player wallets in games, it's I think around 800K in the third quarter of this year, which is, if you compare it with the overall number of gamers, which is probably between 500 and 750 million users. So you see that there is still a huge potential, or let's say a gap to bridge to go. But for me, it's not if, it's just a question of when is this happening.
That feeling that no one has today, that you can own something that is digital. It's extremely rare and it hasn't been yet, shown to anyone. So again, a little bit for people who know the blockchain that happens, but we need to be able to tell someone this is something that you can collect and that you can have, and they have to be able to believe it. And I don't think we've been to that point yet. I don't know for those who know about Urbit, which is a decentralized operating system, which goal is to for you to own your own data on your own server. That's a step further than blockchain in terms of decentralization, but this is literally the end game of it. When you have something, you will be able to say, this is literally on my server, my data is here, and I can own stuff. So that's another example, but I think people are not ready or not convinced yet that it can happen somewhere in the future. But I truly believe it can, and once the shift of paradigm happens for people in their mind, that will be a completely different mindset, like in a world.
Yeah, there's a really good example of like mythical games, so NFL rivals even, and they've kind of done similar, and I think that ties in with like people value that IP so much. So actually, that's I think a great example of kind of adding on a bit of Web3.
So you kind of have that element of, I think initially what we've seen in the last 18 months is a lot of new business models and people thinking that's a new way, but then at the end of the day, that's only one part of the whole recipe, right? You need to combine that with maybe the gameplay, a good community go-to-market audience or community that, you can kind of build that niche and things like that. So the more and more I dive deeper into gaming and kind of game development, the more I've respect for game developers because it's really, really hard. So, yeah. So next thought, how does Near kind of fit in within the game and kind of the ecosystem and kind of why Near overall? Obviously, I think I had touch points with you guys throughout the process within the last
Now, this is what I want to
12,
know. How
15
does
months.
Near
Would
fit
love to
into
just
your
pick your
game?
brain and get your, quick thoughts on that, just so, maybe the rest of these builders or even, people thinking of building, can have an idea. Anyone want to start?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah, for us it was quite a quick decision in that we knew we were going to be doing lots of transactions, so it had to be scalable and cheap. And at the time, there weren't many kind of to choose from. Maybe Polygon, but Near just really stood out as something that could scale with us. So
Okay.
that was the kind of very quick answer.
So tech, and I think it's been proven the fact that if you kind of see, go check the chain analysis on kind of Play Ember, you could see that they are driving tons of users and tons of transactions. So I guess it does work. But yeah, Julian or
Yeah,
Tom?
sure. I mean, there is this speed of transaction and cost that was like definitely some motive for us to go through to go with Near, but like also like you've been helping us, Mark, yourself for the past 24 months, and I have to say it's been of invaluable help, for us. 'Cause I mean, like, and this is what we really liked in the Near community is like you brought, a lot of support in terms of tech, but also introductions and like trying to bring the game into something and in front of an audience. So I have to say that this has been like really something that helped us a lot.
Awesome, thank you. I kind of paid him backstage for that comment. But, thanks. Tung?
For us, it was very clear. So we are about now to finalize the Near integration. But when we spoke to you guys, you had the understanding. I think you were very supportive. Whenever we had a question, you were there. And I think from a technology perspective, it went very smooth. Yeah, we can only say good things about the collaboration with you guys. And it feels really nice and really excited to see more coming.
Got it. So summarize, sounds like it's a lot of it, based on the tech, based on the, easy onboarding or the focus on the easy onboarding for the users. And obviously, I think the BD team, and not speaking just for myself, but, does work very hard to really connect and support the projects. And obviously, I know it's impossible to support every single project, but, we do try our best and work really hard from that. So appreciate kind of the positive feedback. Maybe we're down to our last 4 minutes. Maybe a last question is, what do you guys expect for Web3 gaming in the next? I know Hugo, this keeps jumping out at me. He expects excitement for the next big titles launching next year. But what about the rest of you guys? What are you guys expecting? What do you guys look forward to that's coming up, or even within the market?
I can take it. I mean, like it's going to be more of a summary for me, but like those tools that I've been thinking of, I mean, like I think, and we're part of it. We're building some of them, so we do think that I do think that it's going to happen very soon, and we're going to have like the building bricks that will help us bring those Web 2 people to Web 3. And yeah, I mean, like that like consciousness of what you can do with the ownership of your assets on game, I think we're very close to it. I don't know what's going to trigger it. Maybe some kind of a big event happening, a bit like ChatGPT, as you mentioned. But sometime in the near future, I mean, like this is going to happen. This is going to literally change the way we think about the world and the digital world. Yeah.
All right. Hugo, any thoughts on the last kind of the market or kind of what you expect?
Caught me off guard because you said you covered me earlier, so no,
Okay.
not really.
No, really?
All
Okay.
good, all good.
No?
Thank you.
I'm waiting. Actually, I'm hoping that we get very soon out of the crypto winter.
Yeah, I mean,
and
there's
that the
been
market environment becomes, let's say, more positive
Uh-huh.
or the sentiment, and once that happens, I think it paves also the way to more acceptance, because I think, if the market signs are more positive, money is more pouring in. I just read one number that I think in the third quarter of this year, 600 million was invested in Web3. So that's kind of, gives you some confidence that I think it's 12% better than compared to the previous quarter.
Oh,
So
okay.
you see that there is some, let's say, positive change happening. And I think if that continues, would also give, let's say, a better atmosphere for the whole market. And that's, I think, what we are all waiting for. And then also that, paves the way maybe for the iPhone or the Chat GPT moment that can arise. And again, for me, it's not the question if that happens, it's just the question when. It can maybe take also longer, but having seen transitions um, in the game model, for example, into free-to-play, but also when the market was transitioning from online to mobile, I think there's a technology shift that is happening, and I'm excited to see what comes, and I'm kind of bullish, for the overall perspective.
Yeah. No, no, I love that because what do they say? They say history does not exactly repeat itself, right? But I mean, it's always kind of similar, and I think you're always seeing that with tech and kind of how that innovates. So, yeah, I think we're down to our last, 30 seconds a minute. Any last words? If not, good. All right. Well,
Oh, good.
thank you everyone for joining us, for the crowd, for sitting in, and thank you for the panels for coming in, enjoying Nearcon, and really talking about your project and kind of what you're building. I'm also very excited about the not only next year, but just a matter of when that we actually see one product kind of just really take on and have that experience that's sustainable, that's able to really just onboard masses, and from there we'll actually have a playbook because in my mind right now there's no playbook that people could copy, right? So that's what I'm excited. All right, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Oh.
Alrighty then, that is over. Now we can go ahead and share. Bam! Right in your face, guys. Big. So, fundamental is talking about a shit. These guys are still talking. Let me mute that. Sorry. Yeah, fundamental asks, is there a shitstorm brewing in February? Where's that at? What are you talking about exactly? You're talking about the end of Q4 or, something they said? Can you elaborate on that question a little bit more? And then you said, could I use AI to build me a website on Boss? I'm no dev, but I would suggest you join DevHub and go ask them these questions. I'm pretty sure they will give this directly to you in a very direct answer. I'm pretty sure you can use OpenAI to build a whole ton of stuff, and I'm pretty sure it's going to help you out build on the boss for sure. But I'm no dev. I can't answer that completely for you. But let's get into the winners for the AI contest. Now, for the 10 Near prize, it's going to be the first one that I liked. And I gotta, let me see. Let me share my screen. Let me go to Twitter or X, sorry. And we'll scroll through them. Why am I looking at my own profile here? Let me find, go home. Let's find it. Actually, let me just go to my posts. And don't forget, guys, go share the live. Go share the live. Like and retweet it. I'd appreciate that. Also, for TikTok, if you're joining us on TikTok, which you can find by scanning this QR code right up in this top left corner, scan the QR code, go to TikTok, the top watcher, whoever likes the most, whoever stays in there longer, whoever gifts, will get the top viewer. And I will raffle off. I don't even have to raffle it. You'll be the top viewer. You'll win something. There we go. Here's the AI contest. Now let me share my screen. So can you guys see this? Yes, you can see this. So now there was a lot more than I expected. So Gung Hey Fat Choi, Happy New Year. Just wondering what the new year will bring with the new year. Crypto will bring for the new year. Hopefully good stuff. It's pumping. Let's hope it breaks resistance because it's kind of hitting resistance right now, I believe. For at least near. I haven't checked anything else, but it's been going pretty good. These are good signs, and if we can get through the winter, because usually a crypto winter means is bearish. If we can get through the crypto winter, I think we'll be good, and hopefully Q1 come March, it looks good because the last pump started I'm not sure when it exactly started, but it kind of kicked off pretty high in February, the end of quarter four. So, yeah, good things, hopefully. But, anyways, let's get to this giveaway. So, I can't do a Twitter picker for this because it's just going to pick randomness, right? So, there's Nathan's submission right here. Unfortunately, Nathan, I don't know if you're watching, but this has nothing to do with skeletons or skulls. It does look good. It is very good. I appreciate it, and I like it. But you are not the winner of the 10 near. Zane, this was pretty good. I liked it. The skeletal skull part is not really there for me. Gene Cash, this is just a kangaroo in a fantasy world. It looks like. These are just creepy. These are good. I like this one, a little bit colorful. It's kind of like a robot or biomechanical and an extra leg for some reason, but that's AI for you. This is pretty cool. Different variations. That's more from Nathan. Jared saying he loves the AI art contest. Maria's good ones. I like this. This is cool. This is like 3D cartoony. Who else? Kendall made us a few, and for some reason there's a Pikachu in there. Little kind of pixelated AI art there. More from Kendall. Cartoony. Skulls in the background. This is pretty cool. Who else do we got? Kingsley. Kingsley is Kingwin, yeah. He's got a kangaroo holding a skull there and a different variation over there. This is another skeletal kangaroo and a more robotic one over here with the skull hanging around his neck. Stanley's got some robotic skeletal kind of looking ones over here. Pretty cool. Stanley's got some more skeleton and robotics over here. Different variations of them. Here's a skeleton right there. Kind of looks like a horse almost. Kangaroo horse bone skeleton thing. This is interesting. This is those colorful ones. This is simple but really cool. Like those. This one had the most likes, I think. 12 likes. Femi. The jump couple. Business suits. Kangaroos. Skeletal. I like it. What is your guys' favorite so far? This one, I like this one. Who's that? Dambata. Got some good likes on it too. There we go. Deal with it, bro. That one's pretty cool. I like this post-apocalyptic kangaroo hanging out right here. This one looks like an alien. More. Oh, good. I think that's it for the most of it, but I will post. Ooh, this one's my favorite. This one. I gotta say right now, you guys, that is my favorite. I'm handpicking these, and I gotta say, this is the winner. This is the 10-year winner right here. This is amazing. This is cool. How did he make this with AI? What AI program is this? So, I don't know these characters right here, but vvr.near. Give you a follow right here. And you can see from my post from the last week, he is the winner. So, now that we know the winner, let's hide that. Now that we know the winner here, I'm going to give the jump. How much was the jump rewards? 200 or 250? I don't know. But I have a list of here. I'm going to type it up here for you guys. You thought I posted on Discord? I did post it on Discord. I posted Nathan is the tweet, I believe. Nathan, if we scroll all the way back up. Yeah, this is Nathan's. And then on the Discord, I posted my favorite. So I was hoping I get more to combat him to be able to get some more out of that. But, for the jump rewards, for the jump rewards. Don't worry, guys. Hold on. Let me see. I got some more. So the runner-ups who made some good stuff. Let me see if I can find them. So Nathan, you're a runner-up, and he made some more down here. He's a runner-up. This one's pretty good. It kind of didn't have that skeleton element. It kind of has like a little pant right here, I guess. But I'll type them in here. VVR.near. I will tag him and respond to him on Twitter. Let's do that now. Let's do that live. Let's go find that guy again. He's all the way. Why is he all at the bottom? Let's reply to him. Congrats, you won 10 near. Join Discord and claim with proof of X profile ownership. Basically, I want to know that he's him. Huang Zhao. Correct our punctuation here. Bam. So there's our winner right here. It's my favorite. And then VVR near wins 10 near. And then I kind of wanted to script down to that, but yeah, he wins 10 near. I want to say congrats to Dambata, Femi, Maria, Zane, and Nathan. You guys won jump rewards. I will announce it on Jump DeFi. That way you guys can see it. Also in the Boneyard Discord, I'll give the whole list and the prizes. I kind of handpicked all of these. I couldn't do a Twitter picker, like I said. It's just going to pick random people, and it wouldn't make sense as for an art contest. So for the 10 near, VVR near wins, GGs, and then for some near jump awards, please make a ticket. Dambata, Femi, Maria, Zane, and Nathan. I will make another announcement for this in case you're not live now, because I see 7 people here total. So if you're not here and I called your name, I'll make an announcement in the Discord. If you don't come and claim it, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, thanks you guys for coming out. If you have any more questions, Fundamental says that will pay for your Mid Journey sub. Exactly. If you want to get Mid Journey for the month, it's $10. So if this guy, I see it says AI something on the bottom right hand corner of it, like a little watermark. So I don't think he's using Mid Journey, but he could get it or any other service for what is it, a month? So yeah, that's true. Congrats to all. I'll make an announcement in case you're not live here. And I think that concludes this podcast. It's been a good hour and 15 minutes. We kind of went a little bit later on TikTok. We're only live for an hour. I was trying to figure out how we can go live and how you can hear it and not hear echoes and stuff. So let me close this out. Stop sharing the screen. So if you guys see this link here, oh yeah, let's share the Shard Dog. Shard Dog went to Nearcon. Shard Dog went to Nearcon, so they're busy. I put in another 7 images. So each month I'm going to have different Shard Dogs for each month. So we get grant funding from the Marketing DAO monthly, and we will have different Shard Dogs. So this Shard Dog, if you haven't gotten it yet, it's right here. If you haven't gotten it yet, get it now. During Nearcon, they were giving out Near rewards. So we'll get a different image. I'm working on it. I've requested it already, but they're busy at Nearcon. Yeah, every month for the next 7 months, I believe, we'll have new Shard Dogs every month. So if you don't have this now, get it. If you don't have a Near wallet, it will create one with you for you, and it will also airdrop you. What is it? 0.1 Near. if you don't have one, to be able to activate the wallet. And you'll have this awesome, it's also up here, it's just not animated. Some pixel art I created myself in Sprite, and this is my first attempt to animation. So I'm animating the skull bouncing up and down, bouncing skull shard dog. That's what it's called. You could probably do it in Murder Mystery Pups Discord server. I think they have an MJ replica. I'll have to take a look at that. What exactly do you mean? We can do it over there. What can we do at the Murder Mystery MMC Discord? Speaking of MMC, I have some pups to give away. Okay, let's do that. Since Fundamental mentioned MMC, if you guys go share the live, let me go look at that real fast and bring you guys the link so you guys don't have to look for it. Generate art. Oh yeah, right. He has a bot. Let me spam this live. This is the live we're on right now. Go like, retweet, tag your friends, and we'll give away some pups. I believe the Boneyard wallet has like 5 of them to give out. So if there's only 3 or 4 of you, 7 of you guys, one of you fell off, 6 of you guys in this live right now, there's a very good chance you'll win an MMC pup. I have like 5 of them to give away. And if I don't have 5, I'll go pick up one, and I will have 5. I'll give away 5. So there's the link to this live. Go like, retweet, tag your friends, and we'll give away some pups. Scan this QR code for this shard dog. Go follow, like the. Oh, before I forget, last thing, giveaway. Whoever is the top watcher today on TikTok, I'll do another giveaway, and you won't have to worry about RNG. You won't have to worry about a raffle. You are the winner. Whoever's the top watcher today. I see Stanley. I see Maria. I see a few others in there, and it goes by how long you've been watching, how many gifts and likes you give. So the best chance you have is being there from the beginning and giving the most likes. So top watcher, thank you. I see Maria and Stanley in there right now. So if you were in there since the beginning, since I said we were live on TikTok, and you're giving a bunch of likes and sharing the live, you will be the top watcher, and I'll give away some Near or an NFT. We'll figure it out. So, but yeah, let me close this out. You guys go like, retweet this live. We'll do a giveaway for some pups. And congrats to the winners for the Jump DeFi AA art contest. Oh, before I forget, before we go, Shrapnel. If you guys heard of Shrapnel on Avalanche, we will have Shrapnel this Thursday. They are giving away extraction packs worth like $100, up to $100. The light pack is $20. The medium pack is $50, and the heavy pack is worth $100. So we will have Tony, the head of marketing, this Thursday. So be sure to check that out. Don't miss that one. That's this Thursday. We'll say Monday. In a few days, we'll have Shrapnel. It's the biggest Web3 shooter coming to crypto or blockchain, whatever you want to call it. Shrapnel. Let's look that up. Let me show you that. Before we go, I got to show you guys Shrapnel. You don't want to miss this. Let's go to their website. Wrong one. Share this tab instead. So if you guys are not involved or heard about Shrapnel's extraction packs, the light, like I said, light is $20, medium is $50, and heavy is $100. They are handing these out like crazy right now on Twitter. I've won every single pack so far. That's how much they're giving. If you're participating in these giveaways, you'll probably win. And we're going to have these guys on here Thursday. So set a reminder. Come back this Thursday. Maybe we'll do a Twitter Spaces or another watch party. We got to see what's going on in the ecosystem. But we need to have 3 shows this week, I think, to catch up. I think we're behind 1 show. Hopefully Seuss will join us. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming out. We've been here for nearly an hour and a half, and we don't got much else more to talk about unless you guys have any questions. But thanks for coming out. Thanks for joining on TikTok, whoever joined on TikTok. And thanks for scanning these QR codes and grabbing yourself shard dogs. This is probably almost your last chance, if we don't get one by Thursday, to grab the Bouncing Skull shard dog. So if you don't have it, make sure to grab it now. The link will die. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming about. And we'll be back Thursday. Be ready for some more giveaways. Peace.